Hey everyone, Ninja Nick back with another round of this League challenge at Flipside Gaming in Clifton Park, New York. I think we waited a while. We were waiting for the time to start. We weren't sure when, but I think eventually we just give up on waiting for time to start, so we just start playing. So I did already draw for turn at this point, but I'm still waiting to see when they let us start, and then we just give up after a couple minutes. So I believe we are playing a card that searches our deck. I cannot see because of the glare. I do apologize. I don't like playing with matte sleeves, but I might start because these new Game Genic sleeves that I'm playing, not right now. These are used Dragon Shields, but I used Game Genics throughout all of NAIC, and I absolutely loved them. They lasted the entire tournament. I replaced 3 sleeves because of like a shuffle crease and a couple of bent top corners, but I didn't bend any bottom corners, which is what happens a lot on my Dragon Shields. They kind of click together when I shuffle sometimes. And you can even see my bent corners on camera, but like literally every single sleeve has a bent corner, and it's a League challenge, so it doesn't matter. So we are going to, so we've used our nest ball to grab a Comfey. We started Manaphy. We are going to use our second nest ball to get another Comfey. But my hand here is actually pretty abysmal. I have absolutely nothing going on. And in the Lost Box mirror, there are some people who stand by going second so that you can get the first Cramorant hit off. But a lot of these lists, we only play like one Cramorant in the deck, so nothing much you can do. But I do have a Colress's Experiment in hand, so if I was able to go second, I could use that and hopefully find another Battle VIP pass, and it would be likely that I could potentially get into the Cramorant attack. So that's kind of the issue in this game, is I'm kind of wishing that I did choose to go second. Chris, of course, opens double Battle VIP pass, gets second Comfey, Cramorant, Manaphy, and Radiant Greninja. So he's got like he's got everything he could ever ask for right now. I mean, I guess maybe he could ask for one more Comfey, but that's like pure greed. So yeah, double battle VIP pass. He's also got the Dragonite in his hand as well. So if he gets a Forest Seal Stone, he could always put that down as well. But we do see the Colress's Experiment. We're going to look at the top 5. Lost Zone 2, put 3 in the hand. Technically, it's put 3 in the hand and then Lost Zone the other 2. So if you only had like 3 cards remaining in deck, you would just draw them all. Because that's how Comfey works as well. If you have 1 card left in deck, you just draw it with Flower Selecting. It looks like we are going to Lost Zone the Raikou V, and we do find the Forest Seal Stone, so we can actually use that this turn since we have the Dragonite V in hand, if we so desire. And Chris is going to Escape Rope here. I'm choosing what... I know that a Cramorant attack is probably incoming, so I do feed the Manaphy because I really need these Comfeys to just kind of start going. And I'm just going to hope that off my Colress's Experiment or something that I find a Super Rod to put the Manaphy back in. I'd really rather let the Manaphy die and just hope that Chris doesn't get the Greninja off next turn. Because of just exactly how bad my start is. I could have let a Comfey go down, but again, I really want both Comfeys in play. So I'm not sure if this is necessarily a misplay. It didn't feel like it at the time. Maybe in hindsight a little bit it does feel like it, but we'll have to exactly see how it's going. So we do have this Lost Box mirror. Again, pretty sure whoever goes second is favored in Lost Box mirror, so maybe going forward I should just choose to go second if I'm in a mirror of this kind, but oh well. So we are going to draw for turn. Nothing too much going on here. We're going to Colress's Experiment, and of course there is a Battle VIP pass, so it looks like I would have drawn into the stuff to probably get a turn 1 Cramorant had I gone second, so I could have been in the prize lead. So a little bit unfortunate there, because I would have, of course, gotten that Battle VIP pass off of it. Well, actually, I did use the double nest ball first, so I guess my deck is in a different order than it would have been if I was able to use Colress's Experiment as my first action for the turn. So we don't really know. So we are going to use our Radiant Greninja to draw 2 cards, flower selecting, and Switch Cart and Clara are there. I prioritize the Clara because I know how important it is to Clara back your Sableye in the mirror. But it feels really bad getting rid of a Switch Cart. I also do have a Switch Cart in hand. And I'm looking for, like, Cramorant here, so I can just cram his Cram. And here is the Super Rod. I'm looking for that Manaphy to come back as well, otherwise this is going to be a bad time for me. So I Super Rod first. I think that that's a misplay, because I think I'm going to end up using the Pokestop here, if I'm remembering correctly. And by using the Super Rod first, I'm actually decreasing the odds that I'm going to hit something like Nest Ball. So I could have, like, grabbed a couple of Nest Ball, or I guess there's only 1 left in my deck. I only play 3. So I could have found Nest Ball off of this Pokestop, then put the Manaphy back in a Nest Ball for it. And here we go, Pokestop away, 2 Water Energy and a Colress. So I managed to Super Rod in a Water Energy just to discard 2. So again, should have used the Super Rod after the Pokestop. But I don't know. This day, I just was not playing my best. It's weird. Lost Box, I play flawlessly online, and then Brick with everything else. But then in real life, I just never seem to play Lost Box correctly. I don't know what it is, so. I was running really hot on PTCG Live a couple of days before this with Lost Box, and that's why I chose to play it today. That and the fact that I knew Savi was on the Lugia, and I didn't want to hit Lugia with with Rapid Strike. So using the Lost Vacuum, getting to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in the Lost Zone. But I don't have any Mirage Gate. I've already played a supporter. I have 3 supporters in my 4-card hand. I have nothing I can do, and I just have to pass. So now Chris is just going to be able to just get another attack off with Cramorant for free and go on a 2-prize lead. And yeah, really unfortunate for me. But, you know, I kind of chose this to... I kind of chose to put myself in this position by not going second. It is always correct to go first with Lost Box, even in the mirror, but I'm always punished for it, so I should learn my lesson and just go second and just hope I draw hot. Just give myself that 1 prize advantage. So we are going to get rid of a Mirage Gate here from Chris with the Comfey here, and we are going to bench down this Dragonite and use the Forest Seal Stone. Puts out his coin to show that he used his V-Star power. Not sure why he doesn't have a Ninja Nick V-Star marker like I do. I have like 2,000 of them. So I would love to give more away to people. Definitely have given him one before. I don't blame you, Chris. It's easier to just use the coin. Also, that's like a super small coin too. Back in the black and white era and before, the coins were super small. Then they ended up making them slightly bigger for quite a while. And then more recently, coins just became jumbo sized for whatever reason. I'm not sure why they chose to do that. I guess maybe it doesn't fall off the table as much if it's bigger. Like it's easier to flip it if it's bigger. I'm not quite sure. So we are going to Lost Zone 2 cards here, the Pokestop and another Colress. We're going to put our own Pokestop into play here, milling 3 item cards, to which you can see me giggling, and I clap for the camera too. I'm like, yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, Chris, that's like the story of this tournament, is I kept seeing Chris mill multiple item cards with Pokestop, and I don't. I don't do that. I'll get like Battle VIP Pass to my hand and double Chorus to my discard. Like stuff like that is how Pokestop works for me. And like Chris like commentates on it a lot. He's like, man, you Pokestop. Like he'll look over my shoulder during another round during this match and he's like, wow, that Pokestop really just does not work for you. And of course, since I was not able to find that Manaphy because I missequenced on the previous turn, we are now going to see a Greninja attack this turn and a Palpad putting back in double Chorus's Experiment. And yeah, I'm going to see 2 Comfeys go down this turn, so I'm going to be in a 3 prize deficit. And at that point, you know, if this was a best 2 out of 3, just scoop at that point when you're that far behind. And just don't even bother playing. Save time for the other games. And yep, double Comfey. He just said 2 Comfey. He didn't say if it was my active or my bench. And my draw for turn was the Manaphy. Fantastic. So I'm kind of forced to Chorus's Experiment here. Just to get more cards in hand that I can use. So get rid of the Battle VIP Pass. That's an easy choice. And I guess the Raikou, I don't really want to put 2 prize Pokemon in play when my opponent's at 3 remaining. I want them to go through entirely single prizers. But also, if Chris ever sets up a Sableye, he can just do knock out one of my 1 prizers and then put 4 to another, and then it's just a bad time. So I'm going to use Flower Selecting. I'm trying to do whatever I can because this is best of 1. So this is my only shot to win this match, is to win this 1 game. Oh, my cat is readjusting on the couch next to me. She's got to make sure she doesn't get any bed sores, so she's got to lay on her other side. So I bench Sableye, I bench Manaphy, and I'm, again, really trying to navigate my way through this. I think my best course of action is to attack with the Sableye, because, of course, my opponent does have the Manaphy in play. So what is it that I do here? I think I knock out the Manaphy and put 10 on each Comfey, 2 on the Radiant Greninja maybe? I don't remember. Or maybe it was 1 on the Radiant Greninja, 1 on the Dragonite. But I already lost on my Raikou, so putting 1 on the Dragonite doesn't really get me that far. So Pokestop, we mill a card that used to be known as an item card, and 2 Pokemon. So 0 item cards, because that is a tool card now. And Chris is just laughing at me at this point. And I lost zone I lost zone Chris's Pokestop and my boss's orders just to get more cards in the lost zone. Thin my hand out of more cards. I don't know if my opponent is playing any Roxanne or not. I'm assuming he doesn't. And of course, I'm doing math with my hands here, trying to figure out exactly where I want to put these damage counters. So yeah, I'm saying knock out Manaphy, and then I'm saying I have 4 left, so 10 to each Comfey. I think it's like 10 to the Greninja, and I think I put 10 on the Dragonite. Or no, I put 2 on the... No, 7. No, I miscounted. So I have 5. So I put 1 on the Dragonite, 2 on the Greninja. So I should have probably just put 2 to one of the Comfeys or something. Or I should have just split it and put all of the remaining damage counters on like a Comfey. Or split it between the 2 in case, because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could put 2 on one Comfey and 3 on another Comfey, and then on my next turn I would be able to Sableye and knock out both Comfeys simultaneously. So that might have been a better way to spread the damage counters. I always love putting everything within Sableye range to take multiple prize cards over multiple turns like that. So like on the next turn I could just go 6 and 6 to the 2 Comfeys. But I mean, if Chris gets the switch cart, at least now I have damage counters elsewhere. But if he gets 2 switch carts, I'm super punished. I wouldn't be as punished if I put... Well, no, if I put... Yeah, if I put 3 on one and 5 on the other, it would still heal all the damage off. And that's why I like spreading the damage counters out this way with Lost Box in the mirror. So Chris still has a Cramorant in the active. He can just hock a Loogie right on my Sableye to put it in the discard pile. And still remain with a pretty substantial prize lead. I have, I think, a Clara in hand, so I can just get the Sableye back if I choose to. We are going to see the escape rope, so I'm going to put up the Comfey. I think I'd rather just get rid of that at this point. I have enough cards in the Lost Zone. I have plenty of cards. I think I have 12 right now. So we are going to see the Sableye knock out my Sableye, and then put 4 on the Manaphy. So, yeah, definitely the best way to do that given his situation. I draw Mirage Gate, but again, so now I can try to set up Greninja. So I could, like, Greninja knock out Sableye and a Comfey, take 2 prize cards, go down to 3 remaining, but Chris is still at 2 remaining prize cards, so if he just gets another Sableye, he wins. He just needs Sableye, energy, and then a way to move into the Sableye. Which is not too much to ask for in a Lost Box deck, in all honesty. He can just, like, Clara switch cart. Or, it looks like he has Sableye Psychic Energy in the top of his hand already. What a Giga Chad, man. I'll tell ya. So I use my flower selecting, I use my concealed cards. Now I'm just deciding, I guess, like, I think the only supporter in my hand is the Clara, right? Yeah, but the only supporter is the Clara, so I'm just going to play it. Just going to grab back the Sableye, the Psychic Energy, and I'm thinking probably a Water Energy to try to set up the Greninja, but then again, that's not super likely. If I am going to Mirage Gate, I'm probably going to Super Rod at the same time. I have Super Rod in my hand, so might as well leave the Water Energy to put it back in the deck for Mirage Gate. I mean, either way, doesn't matter too much. So I do put the Dragonite down. I realize if Chris gets a Sableye, he wins anyway, so I'm putting the Dragonite down so that maybe I can get a 2 prize lead in a future turn, but it's just, this game's over already, man. So I have Mirage Gate, I have Super Rod. No, I don't have, I thought I had Super Rod in my hand. I guess I don't. So we're just going to bench the Sableye, and we're going to have to Mirage Gate just to retreat, I think, right? There's no, I didn't see a switch card, did I? I know there's Echoing Horn in there, which doesn't do anything for me. Like, I'm not a big fan of Echoing Horn as a card. I actually, like, I like it more in Mew and, like, Arceus decks. And I really don't like it in Rapid Strike or Lost Box. Like, I never feel like I get any use out of it, ever. So I am going to Mirage Gate to my Greninja, because I realize I'm going to need to take multi-prize turns. So I'm going to save that Lightning Energy in case I want to put it on the Dragonite. I do have 2 Psychic Energies in hand, so it's perfectly fine here. And I have the Escape Rope. So I'm going to force Chris to put a different Pokemon in the active spot. I mean, he can even feel fine just putting Cramorant in the active, in all honesty. So I either attack with the Greninja here or the Sableye. I think attacking with the Greninja is the correct choice because that forces Chris to go Sableye specifically. He can't Cramorant to knock me out. So here comes the Escape Rope. I still have to shuffle my deck from my deck search with the Mirage Gate, so I'm doing that now. Chris is going to put the Radiant Greninja in the active spot because it does have an energy, so he can just retreat into the Sableye after he benches it down and puts the energy on it. He's just waiting for me to end my turn so he can tell me he won. And here I go. So, I mean, I navigated this as best as I really could. I have to get rid of the Sableye because it's an easy win condition for him. And then we just see Sableye, Psychic Energy, and then I already know I lost. So I'm already scooping up as he's going for the game-winning play, knocking out Comfey and the Manaphy simultaneously with the Sableye to take his final 2 prize cards. So, I mean, Lost Box versus Lost Box, just 50-50. So, I drew bad and went first. And Chris drew hot and attacked with Cramorant on his first turn. And that's basically just how it goes. So yeah, I was telling Chris my last prize card was Roxanne. I was digging for it, and he didn't realize I was playing it. So that's when I revealed to him that I had it. Because I was kind of digging for Roxanne at one point in that match. Because if I was able to Roxanne him on that last turn, that would have been really great. But unfortunately, I had to Clara to get back the Sableye anyway. Like, I would have had to Roxanne and Super Rod at the same time and then refine my Sableye Psychic Energy, or I could just set up the Greninja. And I was just hoping that there was some sort of way where I could piece that together, but I don't know if that would have even been enough at that point, in all honesty. So, hope you guys enjoyed. Do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe, all that stuff up above. It helps the YouTube algorithm, makes it so more videos like this show up in your feed, whether they're by me or not. And that's about it. We'll see you next time for round 3.